Hi everyone, Jai Hind and welcome to the platform of Study IQ IAS in English. My name is Bhavar Singh through MX India 115th course and qualified civil services in 2012. And I welcome you on the platform. Now in this session, we'll be talking about Satkoshia. Yes, it is a tiger reserve and we'll be talking about the problems or the challenges that it had faced. Now when it comes to the week, so we had two different headlines, but at the same time, only one national report that gives these two different headlines that we are talking about. Now, when it comes to the tiger population in India, so there had been 658% of the total growth, and this is where we are talking about from 38 to 288 tigers that had been there across 12 reintroduction reserves, and that is between 2008 to 2024. All right, that is according to the report that had been released by NTCA WII, and that was released on 28th June 2026. Now, there is another headline as well, and that is that there are 0 tigers in Satkoshia in Odisha. This is the only reserve where the reintroduction was done in 2018, and that have completely failed until the NTCA's in principle reapproval that was given on 30th of June 2026. So this is about that where it comes to the reintroduction. There were 12 of the sites there where we had the reintroduction of the tigers. They have worked 11 times over that we had only failed exactly once for the reintroduction of the tigers as well. Now over here, this pertains to 2018 release. Now there were 2 of the tiger, or I will say that 1 tiger and 1 tigress. The tiger was named Mahavir and the tigress was named Sundari. They were translocated from Kahana, Bandhavgarh in the Madhya Pradesh to Satkoshia. Now, within a year, what happened was that the male died in the poacher's snare. There was a wire in which, in the snare, it got entangled, and ultimately the male tiger, it died. Then the female, it got alone, and ultimately killed the livestock, even killed 2 of the people, and it was declared a conflict animal by the anxious local population. Now, they had not lived alongside with the tiger for a long period of time, and that was why the Sundari was sent back again to Kahana. So that is what the failure I'm talking about. Over here, this is about the forest fringe families that live in Angul and Nayagarh. So for them, the livestock is basically a saving. All right, in the villages, we know that the livestock, the cattle, they are basically the saving that is there, and they were never meaningfully consulted before an apex predator that entered into their backyard. So this is very important because this is not just the story about a tiger, the failing to adapt to the forest. This is about the story where it is about the state failing to prepare a society for the change it was engineered on its behalf. So we'll be talking about this in this complete session. But before moving ahead, let me tell you that we have the GS Foundation courses on the platform of Study IQ, which are based upon the SMART framework. Now over here, we are giving you the 50% off along with double validity. And for availing this offer, you can use the code that is BRS Live. And this code and this offer is available only till 2nd of July. And ultimately, what you can do is you can enroll into any of the course on the Study IQ platform using the same code. Now let's see the complete timeline of the 18 years. And over here, you will see that it was in 2004-5 where there was Sariska poaching scandal. Over here, every tiger was lost, and even the pug mark records, they were actually falsified. Now, later on in 2006, there was NTCA that was established, National Tiger Conservation Authority, that was established as a statutory body under the Wildlife Protection Act after the scandal of Sariska. Now, later on, what happened was that there was the first reintroduction that was done in 2008. It was in Sariska, and the tiger, they were sourced from Ranthambore. Later on in Panna, also there was reintroduction that began from Kahana and Page after its last tigress, it was killed. Now, in 2018, there was reintroduction that was launched in Satkoshia. However, this had collapsed within a year, and right now we are talking about 2024, where the Simlipal reintroduction was done from Tadoba Andhari, and NTCA have sent the Satkoshia review team as well, so that it can study that what has led to the failure. Then on 28 June 2026, there was the national report that was released by NTCA WII. And on 30th June, the Satkoshia had been reapproved under a new 5-point roadmap for the reintroduction that we are talking about. So it is about 4 ideas, out of which only one explains. The idea is about the source sink translocation. Now, source is basically this is translocation is done where we have surplus tigers. So we moved the surplus tigers from the saturated reserves to the empty one. Like for example, it had been done in the case of Ranthambore to Sariska and from Kahana to Satkoshia as well. Now, this is the core GS3 mechanism question that could be asked in your GS paper 3 that relates to your environment. There is also inviolate space concept. Now, inviolate space is where we have area with the minimal human disturbance or the settlement. Now, these are the regions where the reintroduction must be done for the apex predator, and NTACA had recommended this for the Satkoshia score. Now, this is where we have the Forest Rights Act tension that is involved. Now, the second concept is about prey augmentation. Now, what is prey augmentation is that when you are introducing a apex, so what you need to do is that there should be the sufficient prey base that should be there in that particular region. So this is about artificially boosting the deer or the wild pig population so that ultimately the apex predator will have the prey base in that particular region, that is where it is being introduced, and this is a precondition for the Satkoshia resumption as well. Now, there is ecological carrying capacity as well, which is a question when it comes to the prey and predator base. And then comes the social carrying capacity. Now, social carrying capacity is different from ecological carrying capacity. Now, social carrying capacity is the level of the predator presence or community will tolerate. All right, it is about the community that will tolerate the predator that will be there in the community. And ultimately, over here, it was absent in Satkoshia in 2018 because the community, it was not consulted before the reintroduction. And ultimately, this is high in Sariska and Panna. And that is why you will see that in Sariska and Panna, the reintroduction, it actually achieved a success rate. So it is about the, when it comes to the new framework or the new guidelines which had been released. So 30th June of 2026, NTCA have granted the in-principle approval for the reintroduction of the tiger in Satkoshia. But this is about the release and hope towards the prepare and then release. Over here, there are the 5-point roadmap that had been released for the May 2024, by the 24 review committee, and this is conditional. All these 5 steps, they are conditional. The first step is that there has to be voluntary village relocation that has to be done before the reintroduction. Then the prey base augmentation should be done into the region where the reintroduction will be taking place. Then there has to be creation of the inviolate species or the spaces, and then the staff capacity building must be there. And ultimately, the 5th step is the stronger anti-poaching protection. So these are the 5-point framework which are now the national policy for the reintroduction of the tigers ultimately. So you can see that in 1972, there was the Wildlife Protection Act that was passed, which is the statutory basis for the NTCA and every tiger reserve that is there in India. There is also Project Tiger that was launched in 1934, the originally centrally sponsored scheme for the tiger conservation. In 2004 to 6, there was Sariska scandal, where ultimately it was governance failure which became the institutional reform, and then the NTCA was created for the conservation of the tigers. There is a protocol for reintroduction, which is now NTCA's own technical guidance for governing every translocation, including Satkoshia or any translocation that will happen in the country. There is also 2006 Forest Rights Act. Now, over here, when it comes to Forest Rights Act, this was the quite counter-current where voluntary relocation, it must respect the statutory boundaries which had been laid down by the forest rights. Then we have 32 of the total corridors of the National Tiger Corridors, in which, when it comes to Simlipal Satkoshia corridor, so this has been flagged as heavily degraded under the report that was released by the NTCA. Now, over here, you can see that this is about one dead tiger. And then it leads to, or it had led to, the one national doctrine where it is about the poaching and conflict that was there in 2018-19 in Satkoshia. And ultimately, the reserve stays Tiger Zero from 2019 to 2024. Then there was a team that was sent. There was reputational and the political pressure that built up for the NTCA. There was a team or the central review team that was sent to Satkoshia in 2024. Ultimately, a conditional roadmap was created where there are the 5 conditions which had been laid down, and the approval becomes national community first template actually. So the future introductions, they must plan for the social acceptance first that had been laid down by the right now the doctrine that had been laid down by the NTCA. So ultimately, a isolated field failure, it had converted into a properly redesigned national protection or the protocol when it comes to the tiger reintroduction in the tiger reserves as well. Now, when it comes to the Odisha, so it is not a Odisha story anymore, because when it comes to Project Cheetah, so there was in Kuno, the minister have said and cited that alongside Satkoshia, it is the community participation and not the habitat alone that is what drove cheetah's outcomes. So we have same lesson, but we have the different species that we are talking about. Now there is human and elephant conflict as well, where minister have flagged connectivity concerns wherever tiger and the elephant landscapes, they basically overlaps. There is also Forest Rights Act tension, where voluntary relocation recommendation intersect with the Forest Rights Act claims across the multiple reserves, and it is not just about Satkoshia. And also, it is about the IPCA's global positioning. Because when it comes to India, so IPCA is basically the International Big Cat Alliance, and India's IPCA now frames Satkoshia as a global case study in reintroduction, lessons learned, not as a hidden failure. So again, this is very important for IPCA as well. Now, although when it comes to reintroduction, that had been taken or that has been planned in the other continents as well. Like for example, when it comes to India, so there was reintroduction that was done in Sariska and Panna, and the sourcing translocation was done with the strong community engagement over the years. And this was successful, and it is the best practice benchmark now which is used domestically. At the same time, when it comes to Satkoshia, over there was compressed timelines and weak community preparation where it had failed, and there is a cautionary case that have reshaped the complete national protocol. Then comes Namibia or South Africa. Now from there, under the Project Cheetah, the cheetah were introduced in India. That was the international translocation with the heavy community engagement design, and it confirms that social acceptance matters across the species and the continents as well. Now there were the wolf, they were reintroduced in Yellowstone National Park in USA as well. Over here, the apex predator was reintroduced amid the rancher community conflict, and this is the universal pattern where there is compensation and it has to involve the livestock dependent communities. That is very, very important for reintroduction of any of the species as well. Now, this matter relates to the various tiger reserves that we have in our country. So you can see over here, these are the various tiger reserves which are located, the prominent ones, and you can go through them because ultimately UPSC loves such kind of topic. So that would be all in this session, but I hope that this summarizes the complete change of the scenario or the policy when it comes to reintroduction of the tigers in India. So that would be all in this session, but do not forget to like the session. Do comment if you have liked the video, and also share this with your friends who are preparing for the civil services. And if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please do subscribe so that you do not miss any of the updates in the future. So that would be all. Thank you very much, guys, for joining me here on the platform of Study IQ. I will see you in the next. So till then, please take care, and thank you. Jai Hind.